Right guys, here we are. It is Friday. Welcome along to the Late Night Agenda. I'm your host Craig, and as always this is your show. You let us know what you want to talk about, the Liverpool or non-Liverpool related topics, but we'll try and keep it Liverpool. I know it's the international break. We'll do our best and try and keep it down to the Reds. So we've got the whole Rabiot thing, which you can see obviously in the title of the show. We've got an issue with Liverpool and Everton both struggling to tie down a date for the Carabao Cup third round games because of the fixture schedule. We've got a few other bits and pieces as well. As always, when the chat fills up, we'll get straight into it. It's the international break, but amazingly, news keeps popping up. Little Liverpool tidbits keep coming up here and there. I can look into my little bag of tricks, as I like to call it. There's what we spoke about with Rabiot. There's the whole thing about Red Star Belgrade and their fans not being able to travel to away games because of a ban enforced on them by UEFA after issues around the qualifying game. There's lots and lots to get through. Obviously, we can have a little look ahead to the Spurs game as well, see how the Reds got on during the international break, and a few other bits and pieces along the way. As always though guys, as I said a few seconds ago, this is your show. You let me know what you want to talk about and I will do my best to make it happen. Sean, Louis, how are you guys? Great to have you in the chat. Crosby Red, nice and early for you. You're usually a few minutes late. You're on the ball today. Thomas Boland, David, how are you guys? Great to have you back with us. Ahoy, ahoy, Connor, there he is. He's in the Jesus. Connor, how are you, buddy? Great to have you in with us. People thought you were fucking brown bread, but there he is. See, he is alive. You can see in the chat, Connor is there. Ahoy, ahoy in his New Balance kicks. Sean, how are you, sir? Kang Aussie, great to have you as well. Guys, I'm really happy today. I don't know why. I'm in a really good form. I have a bit of a head cold, so if I sound a bit clogged up or a bit congested, bear with me. I'm pumping myself with a medication, trying to get through the day. Have we bid? Said Darren. Well, Darren, you've gone on to be on a free transfer, mate. There's no bidding involved in this one. Connor, why does that remind me of The Simpsons? Because it's from The Simpsons, Nabil Fakir. It's from The Simpsons. It's how Mr. Burns answers one of the phones one day. He said, ahoy, ahoy. And I've robbed that ever since, and that's how I've answered the phone for the past 10 years in my house. I know, it's douchey, I know, but, you know, it is what it is. No, mate, absolutely did not dye my fucking eyebrows. I can promise you that one. Why would I dye my eyebrows? That makes no sense whatsoever. Alive and wanking, says Sean. That's what we like to hear, Sean. Knock one out for us all, mate. Knock one out for charity, knock one out for the good of us all, knock one out for humanity, mate. You know, nothing to see here. I hear Sané left the Germany squad for personal reasons, said Thomas Boland. Yes, mate, I did see that as well. I've no idea what they are, of course, and I've no right to, no need to, but you hope it's nothing serious. You hope that, it's just his head wasn't in the right place or something like that. You hope there's nothing wrong with the dude, of course. What else have we got? My head colds comes on. Follically challenge, mate, I'm the same. Change of weather, David, for me, buddy. As soon as it goes from being warm into being cold, that's it. I get this seasonal change thing and I'm off the fucking I'm useless basically for a couple of days. Tea and biscuits time for Lee. Treat yourself, mate, why not? But look guys, let's get straight into this. Let's get straight into the whole thing around Adrien Rabiot. So all week, or for the last few days, we've been talking about, have Liverpool bid for him, have we not bid for him? I was of the belief that I told you guys all along, I thought he was going to Barcelona. Well, today, I believe this came out, I want to say the Echo, but I don't want to pin myself to that one just in case I'm wrong. But look, I'll get the notes up that I have here for you. So, Liverpool have no interest in signing Paris Saint-Germain midfielder Adrien Rabiot. The Reds were strongly linked this week with a move for the 23-year-old who's out of contract with the French champions PSG at the end of the summer. One report claimed that representative of the Reds had already made contact with the player's mother, who was also his agent, and suggested that Klopp has also spoken to Rabiot on the phone regarding the transfer. However, Liverpool are understood to be baffled by such stories, with Jurgen Klopp having had no conversations with the France international in private or otherwise to discuss a deal. The Reds boss is happy with his midfield, having splashed out over 100 million quid in the summer. So there you go. People saying from the Liverpool end, absolutely no interest in this deal. There's nothing to it. What do you guys think? Is this just PR spin from the club? Are they perhaps boxing clever? Are they boxing safe because of what happened with Virgil van Dijk? Or do you think we genuinely do have no interest in Rabiot? I'd love to know what you guys think on this one. This seems to be a bit more concrete, as in it does seem to come from a source from the club, and the manager himself seems to be bewildered that we've been linked with the player. So I would love to know what you think, because people do get worked up when they see us linked to a player. You know, we're Liverpool fans and we go into fucking frenzy, don't we? It's what we do. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one, guys. What else we got? Alexander Graham Bell wanted people to answer the phone with the word ahoy when he invented it. Well, there we go. Connor, we're doing the right thing. We're keeping on what he wanted. Connor is here with me. He only gets his phone for 4 minutes every day, said Keir. Yeah, the rest he's been, Chelsea rammed into his fucking head, Keir. Isn't that the truth? Tell us the truth. I wonder, has he learned the lyrics to that one yet? Chelsea, 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 Chelsea. Is that something like that, isn't it? That's about as much as your songs go, Keir, if I'm not miscorrect. Miscorrect? I can't even speak. These drugs have done it me now. I'm done now. I can't even speak. LFC aren't baffled, they just don't want tap-up charges, says Crosby Red. Again, completely understandable. But for them to come out and absolutely deny it like that, I don't know. I always thought that the player was going to Barcelona. I've said that all along. It's interesting. It's interesting to see what happens. I guess we'll know more over the coming months. I mean, he could sign in January. He could sign for Liverpool on a free transfer. We could bring him in then, obviously, the following summer. It'll be interesting to see what happens on this one. The international break can sometimes be a slow news week for the media, so they can come in, they can invent stuff, they can drag up old stories, they can try and cause trouble where there is no trouble. We've seen it done. They've got to get clicks, they've got to get advertisers happy, they've got to make revenue. So often at times they will pull stories out. There was one today I want to tell you guys about. I posted it up on the Anfield Agenda Twitter account. So it was a story over here in Ireland where there's a court case going on that's 2 years old. And the gist of this court case is a woman damaged a €1.50 box of Pringles in a Tesco store in Cork here in Ireland. Now this has cost the taxpayer thousands. The case has been put back already. She's getting, I believe she's applied for public assistance, so she'll get her solicitor for free. She has to be defended against the state. They're pressing charges, of course, against the lady over a €1.50 tub of Pringles. The world is going mad, people. €1.50 fucking cent, and this is costing the taxpayers thousands. And this was a headline, by the way. I didn't just pluck this out of somewhere small. This was a headline on a pretty major newspaper over here in Ireland. The world fucked, lads. The world is absolutely fucked. David said, just media shit. Klopp wasn't saying to the press nothing that happened with Karius at Besiktas. Plus, the club will always deny anything, no matter what the situation, to avoid any embarrassments. Louis said, remember those only fools? Remember those fools? Sorry, I said only fools because I just, seen the word fools and my mind automatically went to only fools and horses. So we'll go again, Louis. Remember those fools said Danny Ward is going to be our #1 keeper. To be honest, I've never really believed it. I thought it was just mind games, or maybe he was just saying that to get a new contract. Darren Calvin said, I hope we get Rabiot. Mate, I'd love him. I'm not dissing the player at all. Edwin Rabiot was a quality footballer and would be a great addition to the Liverpool side. He'd be a great addition to any side in Europe, if I'm being honest. But I don't see it happening personally, although I hope I'm wrong. I really do hope I'm wrong. Imran said, LFC have Oxlade, Chamberlain. Sort of different positions, mate. Both central midfielders, but in a different way. So far, Rabiot was, at this stage of his career, is playing in a more defensive side. I think maybe he perhaps wants to venture a little bit further forward, but at PSG, he's playing that deeper role. Which obviously with Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, we're looking at him maybe as a right-sided forward at times, or in that midfield three. What realistic transfer would you like, says Chris Barton. Christian Pulisic, mate. 100%, without a shadow of a doubt. I've been a big fan of his for a long time. I know he didn't have the greatest of season last year, but I think we might see a step up from him this year. And as I said, he's 2 years left on his deal now. Next summer he'll be 1 year, and he's refusing to sign a new deal, so maybe Dortmund will sell. But I've got to be honest, Chris, on that one, mate, I would have been head over heels to have had Nabil Fekir in the summer. That would have been an awesome bit of business. And like everybody else, I was hoping that deal got over the line all summer. And you kind of do leave that window with a tinge of disappointment, even though it was a brilliant window for the club. The club made some excellent acquisitions. There's always something, isn't there? Maybe his fans were a little bit greedy. Pepper Red is in the house. Good evening, Craig. Good evening, Reds. And Vinnie Johnson's in the house. How are you? And Joe is in the house. John Moynihan, how are you, sir? He said, you can't believe everything you read, only just the proper sources. That's the thing, Joe. In this day and age, mate, it's getting hard to distinguish between proper sources and bullshit, to be honest. Everybody needs to get clicks. Look, I know what you're talking about. You can look at the Melissa Reddies here. You can look at the James Pearces. There are some people who won't say something unless it's pretty much a fact. I get where you're coming from, but papers are just dishing out story after story after story, mate, particularly because it's the international break and they're just trying to drag up stuff to sell papers, get clicks. Imran said, Danny Ward is a brilliant goalkeeper. I would have kept him as number 2 and let Mignolet go. Justice for the Pringles lady, said Connor. It's fucking mad. I posted it up, and the best comment that I had back, Connor, on that one was, I wouldn't mind, they weren't even fucking sour cream and onion, which made me smile, because that's kind of where my mind went as well. Squism said, Mr. Burns always answers the phone, ahoy ahoy. Have you guys heard the news about the Red Star Belgrade fans not being able to travel to PSG and Liverpool? Yes, buddy, I have. Our very own Nabil Fekir there. So yeah, I have. They've been banned because of trouble that happened in their qualifying game. So they invaded the pitch, they let off flares. I think there was some other disturbances like that. And yes, UEFA have banned them from travelling to away games during this season's Champions League, which it's really shitty for them, because I think it's been a long time since they made the group stage of the Champions League. I could have read 21 years somewhere, but that might be wrong. And for them not to be able to travel, yeah, it's going to be tough for them. I mean, it'll make the home legs for the 3 teams they're playing against a lot easier, but for their fans, it's going to be tough for them not to travel. But you know one thing will happen. You know that they're home games. You know the atmosphere is going to be fucking fierce when you get there. It's going to be raucous, it's going to be loud, it's going to be intimidating. And it's going to be tough for all 3 teams visiting Belgrade. But it is mad, like, sometimes you do get the feeling, well I do sometimes, that they pick on some, UEFA pick on some teams because they're smaller, and the bigger teams will get away with this stuff. And I'm including us perhaps in the getting away with stuff to a degree. We do get fined, we do get a slap on the wrist, but it seems like they're making an example of Red Star Belgrade, and I wonder if this was a Liverpool, Manchester United, or Juventus, say, or somebody of that ilk, would we have had the same punishment? Imran said he has full trust in Kloppo. Louis said we could get Rabiot and Fekir. They both play in different positions. Absolutely. I think the Fekir thing is dead myself, if I'm being honest. I just can't piece together why we wouldn't have done it in the summer. It makes no sense to wait till January, because one, he's, can he play then? The Champions League, I don't know, they changed the rules last year. I honestly don't know if he can play for 2 clubs in the Champions League. Apart from that, it's tough, man. It's really, really fucking tough. Yeah, I just don't see it happening with Fekir. I think our chance is gone. I think that deal's dead in the water. Whatever it was with the medical must have been pretty concrete or pretty clear for the club to have not gone back at all over the entire summer. We kept waiting and waiting and hoping that something was going to happen, but didn't look like anything was going to happen. And then right at the end of the window, we got maybe a glimmer of hope, and then right again, doors shut in our faces. So it is what it is, buddy, and I think that one might be dead. I do have a feeling though. I do have a feeling that part of this was because of Christian Pulisic. I don't know why. I may be way off the mark on this one. I just have a feeling that Liverpool are looking down the line at Christian Pulisic. Call me a madman. It's just a feeling I have. Joe said Liverpool need to focus on the league, not new signings. Our squad has great depth and the opportunity to win trophies, even the Premier League. For me, mate, that you say even the Premier League, for me that's the be all and end all for us this season. Everything has to be fucked at the league as far as I'm concerned. Everything we have has to be thrown at the league. Champions League is great, but it's the league title that everybody wants more than anything else. Damo said, good evening all. Pringles should come with a warning, Conor Crosby. Once you pop, you can't stop until you end up in court. There you go. Good tip actually for anybody who's in the pub and they have a tub of Pringles around. If you want to sneak your pint out of the pub, top of a tub of Pringles fits over a pint glass, pops on it nicely, and you can turn it upside down, everything, not a dribble out of it. So there you go. Somebody told me that before. Thought it was bullshit. Tried it. It actually worked. Did anyone see what Trent did in training to shut up Lingard? The crossbar thing, actually, it was brilliant, wasn't it? Yeah, so I won't call it a crossbar challenge, but Jesus Christ, he must have been a halfway line distance, if not a bit further, and just smashed one straight onto the crossbar. Easy as you like, not a bother out of him. That's because he's fucking Trent, man. He can do that. That's the quality the dude has. Shaqiri must be happy they can't travel, said Louis. To be fair, I think he wouldn't be too worried about the home leg. It's the away leg that seems to be, well, if I was him, that's the one I'd be worried about anyway. Peter Sweeney has joined us. Peter, how are you, sir? Great to have you with us. Red Star fans wrecked the away stadium in their last game, the qualifier, said Stephen Richards. So there you go. No European away football for them dudes this season. Nomad said, "Good evening, Craig. Good evening, chat. How's everybody doing? I'm excellent, buddy. I am tickety boo, as I say here every night. Bit of a head cold, but other than that, we'll soldier on." Damo said, "Those bans have been overturned on appeal before. I guess it's given us an advantage, but the away fans contribute to the crazy atmosphere in European nights, which always drives us on." And that's a good shout, mate. I've been down that end of the stadium before, in the old main stand, down that end near the away fans, and yeah, some of them are fucking amazing. I remember some of the Dutch, I think it was PSV fans or Feyenoord fans. I can't remember which ones it was now, but they were absolutely amazing. Joe said, "I think both England and Liverpool have a great future with so many youngsters." I can give a fuck about England, if I'm being honest, Joe. Buddy, with all due respect to our English viewers, I can't give a fuck about Ireland's football team either. As I said earlier on, don't do international football. It doesn't interest me in the slightest. Stevie Richard says, and excuse me for saying Stevie, I automatically just make that connection because of your man. Stephen Richard said, "Word on the street say Pulisic will be ours next season." There you go. I want to meet these people on the streets and let them know, and let me know who's saying this, because I hope the fuck it's right, man. I really do. I want him to sign for us more than any other player I can think of in a long time. Ryan Wald said, "What's up, guys? How are you, Ryan?" Lingard is so cocky, to be honest, said Louis. Him and his little tiny head as well. Little Lingard, the pea head. He is cocky. I don't like him, to be honest. I don't like most of the non-Liverpool players, but yeah, Lingard does seem a little bit cocky, if I'm being honest. You're right, he does. But the Spurs players, Kyle Walker actually in particular, Manchester City player now obviously, he seems like one cocky son of a bitch. David said, "Fekir is a good player, but he wouldn't have broke the deal for no reason, so I'm behind the club's decision." As am I, mate. I fully believe that whatever reason it was that the club made that decision, it was of course in the best interest of the club. And when you're looking at spending 50 to 60 odd million pound, you know, you've got to be certain on these things, or as near to certain as you can be. If there's any doubts around that at all, if the medical team or the people that looked at it think that maybe he'll break down in 12 months, 18 months, you've got to make sure, you've got to be as near to precise with these things as you can be, because it's a shit ton of money, and 60 million quid, we're not a club that can just throw that type of money around willy-nilly. Like, that's a serious investment for Liverpool. That away leg in Belgrade is looking dodgy for our fans, said Stephen Richards. I don't know, man. I don't know anything about Red Star Belgrade and their fans. I just read this today about them getting a ban, but other than that, I haven't got a Scooby-Doo. I know Dave from our own Dave wants to get down to that away game in Belgrade, because he said it's a handy enough fly for him from Germany down, so maybe he'll be able to fill us in first hand and let us know what it was like if he gets down. Are the club going to let home fans sit in the away end for the Red Star game? I suppose so. If UEFA have banned them and they can't sell the tickets, then I'd imagine so. It would seem an absolute waste if they didn't, or they couldn't. Yeah, it would be something stupid that UEFA might actually do, but it would seem fucking ridiculous if they couldn't do it. Even if they had to give them to a charity or something, give them to local schools, kids, football clubs, if they couldn't sell them, whatever. Just get people inside the stadium to see the football. And from another point of view, if it's going to be on television as well, of course, UEFA aren't going to want to have an empty section on television for one of the premier competitions, like so. I hope not. I hope the fans can get in. I mean, I hope the home fans of all three clubs can get in and take those seats. What's the last game at Liverpool you went to, said Joe? Well, see, we were over there for the screenings last year of the Champions League, so we were there for the Man City one, we were there for the Roma one. Game before that was Sevilla last year, the 2-2 draw, where Firmino missed the penalty. Yeah, that one, and that cost me a shit ton of money as well. I had a lovely bet on that one, and him missing that penalty cost me a shit ton of money. But yeah, that's the last one I got over to, buddy. That actual game, other than the screenings. Hit the smash button, said Stephen Richards. Luke Skywalker said, "Good evening, Craig. Good evening, my good guys. What are we going to do this weekend? I feel shaky with no Reds in action." It's tough, isn't it? I mean, let's be honest, it is tough. My missus only said to me today, "Well, what day of the weekend are Liverpool playing?" I was like, "Nah, they're not playing this weekend, love." And she's saying, "Fuck, what are you going to do?" Like, even she was concerned of what I was going to do. It's tough. I don't know how I'm going to get through this weekend with no Liverpool. It's weird. You plan your summer out and you think, right, the summer, do stuff with the kids, we go out the weekend, we'll get a few bits and pieces done, we'll do a few bits around the house, but then the season starts and you get into your routine, don't you? You get into your well, I love the routine where you've got a Tuesday, Wednesday as well, but at least the weekends, you've got everything set up, you get it all out of the way during the week, so you've got that game free at the weekend, and now it's taken away from us already for a week. Dirty Girl is in the house, how are you? Nabil Fakir said, "I've met Kyle Walker. He's actually one of the nicest footballers I've ever met." Yeah, no, I'm still gonna call him a prick, though, Nabil. Sorry, I just do. I mean, I'm just gonna call him a prick anyway. I'm sure he is lovely, to be fair to him and all, but I'm just gonna call him a prick because it's easier for me to do it that way. Because he looks like a prick to me, so why not? I'll go balls in on this one. Just keep calling him a prick. Do you ever get that with people? Actually, do you ever get people that you despise, or you really not despise? That's a bit harsh. You really just don't like purely because of the look of them. You just look at somebody and go, "He looks like a smarmy bastard," and that's kind of how I feel about Kyle Walker. I look at him and just think, yeah, he's completely up his own arse. Don't like him at all. And as you said, mate, he may well be the nicest fella in the world, or one of the nicest footballers in the world. But my perception of him has been that he just looks like an arrogant prick. "The Serb and Croatian fans are nuts. Look what happened at the Rangers game," said Stephen Richards. Yeah, to be fair, that is a good point. Damo said, "Saw a tweet quoting Naby, who speaks to his mother and says that no player on either side gets injured. Says a prayer, excuse me, that no player on either side gets injured." It was beside that quote from Pogba when he was hoping no injuries to the opposition team. How good is PSG? It's a tough question to answer because on paper they should be fucking brilliant. Like, they should be absolute world beaters, Peter. But the truth of it is, a lot of people, myself included, feel that because they face a serious lack of competitive football week in, week out, that yes, they can be brilliant, they can turn it on, they can blow teams away, but when their back is up against the wall in European games and when it's really put to them, they tend to fall apart a lot of the time. So what I'd say is I'd expect, and I'm going to say expect, 3 points at home. And if we left Paris with a point, I'd be happy. But we're as good as them, put it that way. I'd actually say we're better. I'd say we're better than them. People are going to think I'm mad. People are going to say Neymar, Mbappe, Cavani, yada, yada, yada. But I think we're a more well-rounded team, a more together squad, and a better unit. So they are good. I'd probably class them. They'd be the second best team in our group after us, in my eyes. People are going to watch this and go, "You absolute deluded prick." But that's how I feel, hand on heart. I just don't think they gel as a team well enough. Too many individuals. Lazar should be used as an ambassador for Belgrade's game because he's fuck all use for anything else, says Stephen. Yeah, just send him in first. Just boot him in there to make sure everything's alright. And we'll be in a minute. We'll be in a minute, Markovic. You go on in there, buddy. We'll be right behind you. Lick the smash button, said Lee. We're licking buttons, we're smashing buttons, we're liking buttons. I'm loving it, guy. We'll do everything to them. Nose them, ear them, do them all. Are Liverpool not playing Celtic tomorrow in a charity match? Yeah, James Milner's playing in that game, isn't he? The Stilian Petrov game, which is it's great to see that so many people are getting together for that one. I think Brendan Rodgers, isn't he, is getting involved in that one as well. So yeah, great to see so many people from the club. Great to see James Milner, and of course for a great cause, and Stilian Petrov, who we all know battled, wasn't it leukemia with Petrov, I think, actually, at one point. So yeah, another great cause, and let's hope they raise a lot of money for a really good cause. There's so many though, isn't there? I think it's disgusting that in this day and age so many charities are having to fight for their lives to keep these charities going, to raise money, and that funding is just being cut left, right and centre for them. But look, that's a whole other conversation. But yeah, it is great. It is great to see people giving up the time for good causes like that. And you know, it's exactly the type of fella James Milner is, or at least what you'd expect from James Milner. feel for Rabiot tonight. Bad result for the Scots. I didn't see it. I know they were playing Belgium. No idea what the score is, so you'll have to fill me in on that one. The best thing with me, guys, is just assume I have never seen the international football games that are on, because I really don't pay any attention to them. I think we'll smash PSG, buddy. Home and away, said Peter. Hello, Craig. Greetings from Singapore, said Chubby371. How are you, mate? Great to have you back with us. I hope Singapore is treating you well, and I hope you're keeping well as well. Watch James Milner's charity match, said Frederick Ross. It's charity football though, mate. It's up there with friendlies. It's just, nah. I just want the Reds playing proper competitive football. Can we fill the away stands with Liverpool supporters, or does that section have to be empty? Asked Garrett. I'm not sure, mate. Somebody asked that a few minutes ago. I'd hope that you can fill them with home supporters, because it seems silly to leave them empty, especially when you've got so many kids or charity schools, local football clubs, UEFA charities, whoever. You'd imagine they'd fill the seats somehow. But you're right, they could be fucking UEFA and just leave the section empty. I wouldn't put it past them. Mighty Lad said, hello Craig, sorry wasn't on here last night. No problem, mate. Don't anybody ever feel they have to apologise, guys, for if they miss nights or they don't get a chance to come on. There's no what's the word I'm looking for? There's no expectation here from us. We are happy to have you guys on. It's a pleasure for anyone that joins us. We're so grateful for people giving us their time every night, so no need to ever apologise to us, guys. We're thankful for you all giving up your time. PSG is in a lower grade league like Madrid and Barcelona, so bear that in mind. Could anyone tell me what went wrong with Markovic? No, I suppose, mate, is the honest answer. I've heard things about training. I've heard that his attitude wasn't great. But these are all things you hear. But the truth of the matter is, Imran, I'm not on the training ground. I'm not in the camp. I honestly don't know. All I can talk about is the piss poor performances that he's put in when he's been here. And even when he was away on loan, he didn't light up the leagues he was in, or didn't play that well. He had a decent enough spell at Hull, I think. But other than that, his career just has stalled completely. You'd wonder, is it down to appetite? You'd wonder, is it down to settling for a decent wage that he's on now, and then maybe he feels he has enough money, he doesn't want to push himself? I don't know. It'll be all guesswork. But one thing for sure is that it seems an awful fucking waste. It really does seem an awful waste, because he had a pretty decent reputation when he came to Liverpool. I think I said before, we had to pay off Chelsea because they had first say on him, or they had a stake in him or something like that. So we had to pay them off as part of the deal to bring him in. So it does seem like a lot of money completely fucking wasted by the club. Pat Bot's in the house. How are you, Pat? Great to have you back with us, buddy. I love seeing so many familiar faces in here every night, guys. It's absolute quality. Everything went wrong with Markovic, said Can Nazi. That's probably the easier way. Mate. When's the weigh-in, by the way, for the Till fight, or has that already taken place? I know the Amir Khan weigh-in took place, and Khan had to get down to his boxers for his fight tomorrow night, but I haven't seen the Till weigh-in. Has that taken place yet? Anthony's in the house. Anthony, how are you? Great to have you back, buddy. Did you see the Ireland match, Craig? No, mate. No, don't watch international football. I know that makes me probably sound like an absolutely unpatriotic bastard, but man, that team under Martin O'Neill, I'd rather watch paint dry, honest to God. I feel so sorry though for the people that travelled over to Wales for that game to see what apparently was an absolute shit show from the Irish team. And fair play to Wales, they went out and did the job. First game under Giggs, well done, but I haven't seen anything but negative reviews from the fans that travelled over, and I've read a few things on the internet. A few people calling for refunds to be issued by the FAI actually. Has anyone besides me think PSG and Napoli are worried when they found out they were drawn with Liverpool, said Chubby. Oh, absolutely, mate. Didn't the Napoli president say that he wanted answers from UEFA about how the hell Liverpool were in pot 3? He wanted to lodge a formal protest about the fact that they were in a group with Liverpool and Paris Saint-Germain. So they are absolutely worried. You can be sure of that one, mate. Yeah, absolutely worried. And I don't think we are though. That's the funny thing. Don't think this bothered us. We knew this type of group would probably come, and once we were in pot 3, we had a fair expectation that we were going to get one of the big teams, a good team from pot 2, and then of course ourselves and whoever we get in pot 3. So it's no big deal to us. I fully feel we're getting out of this group anyway, and I would have backed the Reds to get out of any group we'd have been drawn in. Imran's going balls out here. He's gone 6-0 against PSG at home and a draw away. 6-0 is a bit much, Imran. I'm an optimistic fucker when it comes to home games, especially in Europe, but 6-0, I'll leave it with you. I mean, if you're right, man, I'll be on here and I will issue apologies left, right and centre and tell you that you are the man, but 6-0, that's a lot to ask. Everybody hit the like button, said Imran Khan. Thank you very much, sir. Yeah, if you are watching, guys, please, as you know, I always say, do take a second, hit that like button, and of course, if you're new to the channel, it's a great time to subscribe. I know it's the international break, but we've just started our video podcasts on here as well. So by subscribing to the channel, you'll get all our nightly watch-alongs. You'll get some new shows that we have coming up from next week, which I haven't told you guys about yet, so bear with me on that one. You get our video podcast, you get our match day watch-alongs, and of course you get our post-match shows as well. All 100% free. Not enough people hitting the smash button, said Stephen Richards. Hello everybody from lovely Tenerife, said Stephen Taggart. Excellent, mate. Hope you're enjoying. Well, if you're on your holidays, I presume you're on your holidays, mate. I hope you're enjoying it. Oh God, man, I'm counting down to mine. 31 days until I go away. I'm not even joking. I've told you before, I literally have a fucking countdown app on my phone. I'm really looking forward to going away. Napoli president is now wearing brown trousers, said Damo. True story. Jay said, at least the Irish got to spend some time in Wales, mate. Worth the ticket price alone. I mean, there is that, Jace. There is that. I'll give you that one. It wasn't great though, Jace. Let's be honest. From your perspective, mate, it was excellent. I'm sure there's lots of reasons for you to be optimistic going forward with that young Welsh team, but where it seems to happen with the home nations, doesn't it, in cycles. It was Scotland, it was Wales, it was Ireland. We all had our peaks and troughs. Well, we seem to be going through a pretty shitty period at the minute. And the problem here is I really don't see the FAI having the foresight to fix this in the long term. I think the whole thing needs to be fucking gutted, and we need to bring in new, younger, fresher blood into the FAI. But again, that's for another conversation. And I'm not talking about this from an international football perspective, by the way, because I don't give a fuck about the international football really. I'm talking about this from a grassroots perspective in Ireland, from the ground up, from the coaching, the quality of facilities for players. It all needs to be ripped up and started again. And said, hi Craig, hope you had a good day. Wouldn't believe anything regarding Rabiot. Same said we weren't going for Allison and Danny Ward would be given a chance. But absolutely, mate. I know everything can be twisted, everything can be called bullshit, but I don't know. I just have a feeling that I'm not saying we're not in for him, because I believe we should be in for him, because it's the type of footballer anybody should be going after. If he's available on a fucking free, you'd be mad not to try to get him in. But I just feel that deal to Barcelona, in my head, that's done behind the scenes. Jace Roberts said, good evening to everybody. Jace, how are you? Great to have you back with us, buddy. Still marching my way through that book, by the way. Very much enjoying it. Peter said, I want Liverpool to get the two hardest teams they could play. So did I, Peter. I wanted the toughest possible group for Liverpool. I wanted us to go Barcelona, Borussia Dortmund, us and Inter Milan out of pot 4. Like, I wanted the toughest possible group, because for me, European nights at Anfield, European football is about playing the best. So I would have loved that group, but I'm happy with the group we have. Paris Saint-Germain, Napoli and Red Star Belgrade. It has a bit of everything. Bit of the new age of football, bit of the old age of football, and then Napoli, of course, sandwiched in the middle. Nomad said, I came in here one night when I was feeling super low, and you and many others made me feel a bit less lonely. I'm happy to do the same back. And hello to Jason Roberts. Great to hear that you guys... I love the way you guys interact with each other in here, by the way. It's brilliant to see. And I love a story like that from Nomad there, where he was feeling a little bit down and he came in and people cheered him up. That is fucking brilliant. Stuff like that, wherever else, makes this channel worth it to me. I was saying to you guys yesterday, we received a couple of nice emails over the past week as well. I won't name any names because they are private things sent to us, but some lovely emails, some very touching stuff, and it's made my week. I'm not gonna lie, it's absolutely made my week. I'm so happy that these people are reaching out, enjoying what we're doing, and that people are getting a little bit more from it sometimes than just a football chat, and that's brilliant. I've told you guys my story before. I've told you how making content and Liverpool and the Liverpool family have really helped me out in my life. So if we can do that to anybody else along the way, whether we know about it or not, even if it's just people jumping into the chat and saying hi, perhaps, whatever it is not a brilliant thing to be able to do, guys. It makes me feel great. I'm not gonna lie, it makes me feel like we're actually doing something decent in life, and it's a small thing, but it really does make me feel nice. Jay said, brilliant football played by the young Welsh team. Sticks in my throat that Giggs is our manager though. I can't stand the prick. Yeah, you got to take the rough with the smooth, Jace, don't you? I mean, pleasure, pain and all that stuff. If you get them playing good football though, mate, just, I'm sure you'll stomach it. It's all about qualifying for the next major tournament, and let's see what happens. Mayan said, what did I miss? Just a little bit of talk about Adrian Rabiot, mate. A little bit of talk about the international break and a few other bits and pieces, nothing too major. Yeah, a couple of people saying, great to hear, Nomad. Some lovely people on here and a few trolls to laugh at as well. The trolls have been a bit quiet lately, haven't they? It's been nice. We haven't had too many of them pop in over the past few weeks, which is great to see. Sometimes it's nice to give them a bit of a kicking from time to time when they drop on, but it's great to just have you guys in here as well. I'm just looking through my little box of tricks. So Liverpool and Everton are waiting to hear whether they can host their All-Premier League, or when they can host their All-Premier League Carabao Cup ties. Both clubs were given home draws in the third round, and as you guys know, Liverpool and Everton can't both play on the same night. They can't both play in Liverpool on the same night, so there's a bit of a scheduling headache going on for the clubs at the minute. So usually one club will play on a Tuesday and the other club will play on a Wednesday, but Liverpool are willing to play their game against Chelsea on September the 25th or the 26th, but the situation is a little bit complicated because Chelsea have a televised fixture against West Ham on the Sunday, and Chelsea won the match played on the Wednesday. Delaying the Liverpool versus Chelsea tie by a week isn't an option, as both teams are competing in Europe and talks have been ongoing to resolve the situation. Everton and Chelsea are the most affected by the outcome. So again, bit of a fucking fixture headache there as well around the Carabao Cup third round games. And of course, anybody who's looking to get over there, any fans looking to travel, still don't know how they can get over, still don't know exactly when the game will take place. So spare a thought for those guys as well. I do hate this fixture shit. I do hate this TV stuff as well. The amount of people I know who have bought tickets to go over the games within the 6-week period that the TV channels are supposed to give. So if the TV channels are changing a game or by day or time for TV, they're supposed to give fans 6 weeks notice before they do it. The amount of times I've seen that fucking changed by the television stations is wrong. And people who I know have bought flights within that period thinking, right, there's the 6 weeks now, it's settled, it won't be changed, bought the flights, and then bang, they get fucked over because the TV channels moved them. And no, absolutely no problem with that, mate. I don't know who Mac Miller is, so you're going to have to fill me in on that one, buddy. But 26 years of age, that is far too young for anybody to be passing away. What's the situation with Rabiot, said Nevo. Well, apparently the club have come out and said that they've absolutely no idea where this has come from, that there's been no contact with Liverpool Football Club or any of our representatives with Adrian Rabiot, his mother, and there certainly hasn't been a phone call from Jurgen Klopp to the player. So that's where that comes from, Nevo, mate. It's been in a couple of the papers today. A couple of our guys in the chat as well here have suggested, look, we've heard this before. We heard Liverpool didn't have an interest in Fekir, we've heard Liverpool didn't have an interest in other players, and we heard Danny Ward was being kept at the club. Look how that worked out. So take from that what you may, mate. I'm just passing on what I read today in the papers. Stephen Richards said, would have liked to have signed Aaron Ramsey from Arsenal in the summer. Yeah, I was kind of on the fence on that one, to be honest, Stephen. I do like the guy as a footballer. I just don't know, would he fit in well to our system, do you think? Technically, I think he's plenty good enough to play for any of the top teams. I think Aaron Ramsey's a very gifted footballer, but Yeah, I don't know. Has he signed a new deal with Arsenal either? So he may still be. Somebody may still try and get him next summer. The trolls will be back if our rivals actually win a football match, said Paul. Fair point. I mean, it is a fair point, yeah. They all go balls out, don't they? Do you remember when they beat Burnley, weren't United fans giving it the big and suddenly they were back? Jose was back, everything was gravy, they were fucking great. Nobody else could touch them because they beat a Burnley team who were bollocks after playing Olympiacos during the week. How do you feel about the Champions League group? Said TDL boss. I think it's grand. I think it's a decent group. I think we should certainly be looking to top the group. Paris Saint-Germain at home should be eminently winnable. Paris Saint-Germain away, I know any away in Europe is tough, to be fair. So it's Paris Saint-Germain, Red Star Belgrade, Napoli. All those aways are going to be difficult. But if we can win our 3 home games and get a draw and 1 victory away from home, then that should safely see us through. And I'd say 13 points would probably top us the group. At a guess, I'd say it'll probably top us the group, but I've no fears we're not going to qualify, mate. I'm very confident in that sense. How about you? How do you feel about it? Please let me know in the chat what you think of the group. Stephen Richard said September to December will define our season. Yeah, we've had a few iffy periods, haven't we? Between then, we usually finish the season quite well, although we tired off in previous years and just fallen over the line to 4th place. But it is a busy period. I hope we're there. I fucking hope we're there. I don't give a shit about the FA Cup really. I don't really give a shit about the Euro or the Carling Cup or League Cup, whatever it's called, the Carabao Cup. For me, it's all about the fucking Premier League. The Champions League is brilliant. I love a good Champions League run, but nothing makes me happier than the thought of Liverpool perhaps living that Premier League title. I know it's a long way away. I know it's a big shot and a big ask, but all my focus is on that. That is what I want more than anything else from a footballing perspective, is the Reds to finally break that fucking hoodoo and lift that Premier League title. Paul Connell said, "Evening Craig, the beard will be there before you go away to Florida, mate. I'll email you so you can let me know where to send it. As I don't have a PayPal." It's alright, but you don't need a PayPal to do that, by the way. You can use your bank card on PayPal if you ever want to buy anything on there, or if you're going on, say, to buy yourself a Liverpool top or something and somebody wants you to pay with PayPal, you can use PayPal as a guest. Just put in your bank card number, mate. So just keep that in mind, because I was similar. A few years back I kept saying I didn't have a PayPal, and then one day I went on to buy something and I realised they could actually pay for it as a guest. Any news on the YouTube application? Nope. Still waiting, Gareth, every single day, checking those emails to see if there's anything from YouTube. The funny thing is, actually, when we were told no the last time, it took a ridiculously long time, because they said there was a backlog because they changed the rules a little bit. So they said that backlog has been worked through and that we could reapply. So we've reapplied and it's already gone past the period where they've said it should have been done in. So again, your guess is as good as mine, Garrett. Every day I'm saying to Connor, any news, because it's a really big deal to us. It's a big deal because it's what's going to keep the channel alive or not. So no, I'm waiting, mate, as much as you, and I'm having some sleepless nights over this whole YouTube application. So I haven't even put my head towards them saying no again, because that would, I don't know what will happen if that happens. But look, we'll stay positive and wait till I come back. Anybody know how much a BT subscription is? What country are you in, mate? We'll go from there. I only ask because there's a couple of ways of doing it in Ireland. You can pay a monthly subscription or you can buy an annual subscription, and I have an annual subscription and I buy that every Black Friday. So in November, that Black Friday sale, they usually have pretty much a half price sale to buy a year's subscription in one go. I think I paid 130 or 135 euro last year for the year's worth of BT. I also get BT free on my mobile and iPad because of the phone company I'm with. You get a free BT on that as well, but only on your phones and iPads. Craig, would you rather have Rabiot or Nabil? Nabil, to be honest, mate. I think we're lacking more of a Nabil Fekir than we are of a Rabiot. I think we've enough midfielders, although you can never have too many, but I think we've enough midfielders that can play in that central role, and a creative player, another player to perhaps put across the front three if necessary. So yeah, I'd go with Nabil, but I'd love them both because I'm a greedy bastard. Really enjoying the late night LFC chat. Keep up the good work. And says, is it Catty an Angel or Catch an Angel? But thank you. That's really kind of you. Thank you for the kind words. I'm so glad to hear that you're enjoying it. Obviously, when the season goes along and the games start coming thick and fast, and we're on here talking about Champions League football, and we're on here talking about transfer windows and looking forward to the weekend's games, there'll be lots more for us to talk about. The banter will fly up. It's a little bit quiet now, guys. As you know, it's the international break. Although the season's only fucking started, I hate this break in September, but it will pick up and there'll be lots for us to talk about. I did say earlier on we're going to have some new shows, so there'll be some shows where there'll be myself and a guest on, and of course you guys will be majorly involved in any of these shows. There'll be the video podcast every Monday and every Thursday, so they are now scheduled in, guys, so you can put that in your diaries if you want to keep it. Every Monday, every Thursday at 8:15 we will have video podcasts every week. Same days every week, Monday and Thursday. The thought behind that is that a Monday one will allow us to look back over any weekend's games and have a little look ahead to a Champions League game during the week. And of course, on the Thursday then we'll be able to have a look back over any Champions League games that happened on the Tuesday or the Wednesday and look ahead to the weekend's game. So that's the thought process behind the Monday and the Thursday video podcasts. And there's a few other bits and pieces we're going to do as well. We're going to try something along the lines of, how do I describe this? So you guys know we do our last 15-minute chat, where we have the 15 minutes at the end of the show where we talk about fun stuff that isn't LFC related. Well, we're thinking of doing a 45-minute vodcast, if that's the right word, video pod, where we just talk about those subjects. So we do 10 minutes on different subjects given to us by you guys, and of course you guys will be involved in that as well. A little bit of a fun thing, a little bit of a non-football thing, just to break up the week at times. And we've a few other show ideas that we want to run by people as well. But most importantly, we want you guys involved. So for the post-match shows, the phone-ins, concept ideas, anything like that, anything you guys want to see, any ideas you have for shows or content, as we've always said, this is a community channel. Please let us know. If we can make it happen, we will definitely make it happen. We want to keep you guys happy, we want to keep you guys entertained and enjoying the channel, so let us know. Absolutely anything you want us to do, bar get naked, because let's be honest, one, nobody wants to fucking see that, and two, it ain't going to happen. So if there's anything you want us to do, any particular shows, topics, please let us know and we'll do our best to make it happen. Craig, don't like the way Ryanair doubled the prices for the fans, mate. Don't even get me fucking started on those lads. It's fucking scandalous. The amount of times I've had to find really iffy ways to get over to games, like flying in to completely other airports miles away and going across the country, or getting that slow ass boat over to games. It's scandalous. It really is. And you're right, they're not the only ones, but the airlines do fucking fleece fans as well. BT subscription is free if you get broadband and a phone line from BT, said Imran. Jay said, I'm a bit of a hermit and I struggle to sleep at night, so I enjoy logging onto this, listening to Craig talking sense. Oh Jesus, Jace, come on, you've just clearly lied there. And joining in with you all, it's a great way to wind down. Yeah, it's good for me as well, I have to be honest, because around the time I start doing this, my little dude is going off to bed, so that's great. So I get to do this wind down. Then I go downstairs and I listen to a podcast myself to wind down the evening. Then watch a bit of TV. So yeah, it's great. I love spending this time of the evening with you guys. It's good, and I like structure. I'm a very structured person, so for me being on at the same times every night is great. Gives my life a little bit more rhythm, and I do like a bit of rhythm. Don't have any fucking rhythm, but I like a bit of rhythm. A few more little bits and pieces here, bear with me guys. I thought I'd caught up with the chat. Seems I am fucking sorely mistaken. Imran is, mate, I'm loving this. You're really balls out tonight, so well in. He's saying, I'm very confident or comfortable Liverpool will go all season unbeaten. Mate, I'm telling you what, the fucking Milky Bars are on me if Liverpool go all season unbeaten. Ant said, makes me laugh. The scum beat a shattered Burnley, and now there's a title race all of a sudden. Unbelievable. Randy, great to have you back, mate. Randy said, good evening, Craig. Good evening, Red Men. Do you think it would make sense to play the under-23s in the FA and League Cups and the first team for the Premiership and the Champions League games? Yeah, I think we always want that, don't we? Like, we always say to ourselves, yeah, we'll blood the kids in, we'll give them a run, we'll play the Joneses, we'll play the Nat Phillipses and stuff during these games. But then you get drawn against fucking Chelsea in the League Cup, and all of a sudden you're thinking, shit, do we want to lose to Chelsea perhaps at home with a young team? And I'm not saying they would lose, I'm just giving a worst case scenario here. So do we want to put out a young team, lose to Chelsea? So one, you're out of a cup. Two, you've got a psychological blow against you, excuse me, for the season ahead. And then, of course, those young guys take a bit of a knock as well. It's tough, buddy. I would say yes. I would wholeheartedly say there's enough players in this squad to mix in a good bunch of those under-23s and a few of the guys on the periphery of the first team. Some guys who mightn't get many minutes. Certainly playing Simon Mignolet, for instance, and stuff like that. Maybe Joel Matip. Who else have we got there? Adam Lallana. There's a few players along the lines like that I think we could drop into those games without playing the likes of Mane, Firmino, Salah. We could be playing obviously Dominic Solanke there, Divock Origi. There are options, and decent enough options for us to go out and put up a show. The other thing I want to say is I've often wondered, since the draw's been made, how seriously Chelsea are going to take this and what type of a side Chelsea are going to put out for that game at Anfield. So sometimes you'll almost get an unspoken vibe between managers that they kind of both go, well look, we'll go easy enough here, we'll put out kind of the same calibre of teams and see what happens. But your guess is as good as mine, mate. But I agree, I would put out the younger players. Have you heard the FA are allowing Spurs to play their cup games at MK Dons? They make the rules up as they go along, can't punish the FA's golden boys. I didn't hear that they'd got that decision. I knew it was coming though. So right, so that's MK Dons Stadium. They've got the Champions League games at Wembley. They've got league games at Wembley. Then they're moving league games to the new ground. Do what they want, sure. Why not? Why not? Do what they want. It's only rules. Roy Evans, Houllier, Rafa and Roger should have won the title. It was experience that destroyed their chances. So you know what actually really pisses me off actually, Ant, when we're talking about this and Spurs being allowed to do that and bend the rules? My mind just casts back to that side from Liverpool who were kicked out of the FA Cup over was it a £10 or £20 fine or something, and they were booted out of the early rounds of the FA Cup. But yeah, Spurs are allowed fuck over multi-million-pound worth of stuff and have to change grounds, and fans have to move areas or move hotels and stuff across the city. Fuck them. I don't think it's right, man. I really don't think it's right. They should be at least hit with some type of a financial penalty. Something should happen to them other than just sure, it's only out Spurs. Isn't Daniel an out chancer? God bless Harry Kane. Isn't he great? The future of English football. God bless him. Just think that playing against two very strong teams in the Champions League group could prove difficult balancing with the Premier League and the Carabao Cup, but don't really give two shits about the Carabao Cup. I don't know. I don't think whoever we played in the Champions League, I really don't see us playing that weak of a team at any point in the group stages. So I don't think it really matters that we're playing Napoli and Paris Saint-Germain. If we had have got, say, Paris Saint-Germain and, I don't know, a weaker-ish level 2 team, I don't even remember who was in fucking pot 2, but I don't think it would have made any difference. We probably still would have went with a strong team. So it's going to be a balancing act, but we knew it, and that's why we built this squad, or that's why he went and bought those players, and that's why we've had this conversation around having 7 or 8 midfielders available to the manager. And that's why people kept saying, do you think he'll get in the starting 11, or is there any space for this player or that player? It is going to be a long season. There's going to be a shit lot of rotation, and this is where having this squad should pay off for us. Anthony says, we're lucky on Virgin Media. BT Sports comes free with our package, including the new 4K channel. Said Anthony, so nice one. Ox's leg needs a bit more making. Fixing, I think you meant to say. And Chubby said, do like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And please do, guys. Spurs must be losing a ton of money not having a home ground, said Crosby Red. They are. They have to go now and rent. As you said, they've got to pay rent on the MK Dons Stadium for that game. They've got to pay additional rent at Wembley now, which they had budgeted for. Of course, the costs to be overrunning on their stadium, and I don't know what deal they have with the contractors there. There's also the logistics of this. I mean, all the stuff they have to move on match days and stuff as well. So I'd imagine it is costing them an awful lot of money, but at the same time, they should still receive some type of punishment from the FA. They did get some leniency, let's not forget this. We're not just saying, oh look, Spurs have struggled, let's just fucking stick the knife in their back. They've already got leniency when they moved the Liverpool game because the stadium wasn't ready. That was one thing. Now they've got the whole thing around the Carabao Cup game because Wembley isn't available. Now they have to put it at the MK Dons. Something has to be done with this before it just becomes a fucking laughing stock. And when is the stadium actually going to be ready? Nobody knows yet. But, on the same token, it's not us, it's Spurs, so fuck them. Whatever happens to them, happens to them. But, as people have said, they'll let them away with it. They're the darlings of the FA, so no doubt they'll be let away with it. Stephen said, what do you think of the new training ground? Do you think it'll be better having everybody together? 100%, Stephen. What Klopp will be able to do now is go down to these 17, 18-year-old young lads and say, look up there. You keep your head down. You keep playing the way you are, son. Keep putting in the performances that you are. We'll move you up there. You start training with the first team. You'll be in and around those boys. You'll be at a different level. It's brilliant. It gives them a clear pathway through. When they come into the Academy of Kirby now, Klopp can say, look, here's what happens. You go here, here, and then if you make it to here, great. The pathway is there. It will inspire players to want to be better players. It will inspire them to see what they can achieve. And of course, they'll mix in and around with the first team as well. So when they do make that step up, they're not going to be overawed. They're going to have seen these players in the flesh. They're going to have seen them in the training facility. And it won't be a big culture shock to them when they go up to the first team. And most importantly, it allows Klopp to have a look right through all the ages. So it allows them to go from the first team right down to the 18s or whatever. Is it the 18s they're going to start there? I think it's the 18s. It allows them to have a look right through anyway. Keep in constant contact with all the coaches, and they can have one philosophy going right through the system, which is exactly what you want. And I believe this was Klopp's vision, so it's great of the owners to back him. AS Empire said, hey guys, I don't trust the Rabiot story that denied we're linked to him. I don't think it's true either. I think we're definitely looking to get him. Well, why wouldn't we be? I think it would be a bigger fuck up if we weren't in the conversation to get Adrian Rabiot, but I still don't think we're going to get him. And I said the other night when the stories were coming out that we'd been linked to him and that apparently Jurgen Klopp had been on the phone to him. For them to allow that to come out, that has to be nipped in the bud, because we've seen what happened with Virgil van Dijk at that stage, with the whole Blackpool thing. So stories couldn't just be suddenly going around again saying that Jurgen Klopp was on the phone to Adrian Rabiot or Adrian Rabiot's mother. We'd be fucking crucified again. So maybe it's the club, as Crosby read said earlier on, maybe it's the club covering their ass in that sense and just saying, well, oh no, we've no interest. No, haven't spoken to the player, no interest in the player. And then they can let a few months pass on. If stuff happening behind the scenes, so be it. And then of course they can say, well look, things changed. We suddenly had an injury here, or we thought to ourselves, yeah, we may need this player in here, and an opportunity presented itself and we thought, you know what, makes good sense. That's the way this could happen. But again, it's all fucking smoke and mirrors, isn't it, in football a lot of the time. You can't really believe anything anybody says these days. There's no Ox week in the first 11. I would say yes, absolutely. If you think back to last season in particular, when he was on form, he was vital and a pivotal part of that team that was progressing through the Champions League and playing so well. So I would say yes, no Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain would indeed weaken the first 11. Yasser said, stadium, what are with the expansion plans for the Anfield Road end? I keep trying to think of the word I'm looking for here. So basically there's a building project going on already at the club with Kirby being done, excuse me. And a club is very, very unlikely to start a second building project whilst they've already undertaken one, or well, one is underway. So whatever happens, I don't think you'll see anything major happening now. You might get a decision or an announcement, but I don't think that anything will start with regards to building until Kirby's finished. As I said, it's really unusual for a club to undertake two projects at the same time. From what I've read, I don't know, I've no first-hand experience of this, so we're all waiting, man. We all want the Anfield Road end to get the nod. And do you know what? As soon as the Anfield Road end gets the nod, we should all be saying, let's do the Kop. We want the Kop made bigger. We want the Kop redone. And then after that, we should be looking to extend wherever possible. And it's up to us as fans to do that, to put that pressure on the owners, even if it's not realistic. We got to keep pushing. We got to keep looking to expand, get bigger, get better in every facet of the club. The playing staff, the managers at times, not now obviously because we have the best in the business as far as I'm concerned. And the stadium has to be the same, facilities, everything. As fans, we've got to keep pushing and looking for the best. Crosby Red said, I know the stadium went over budget, but now they're losing fans, match day spending revenue and advertiser revenue. Mane hasn't extended his new contract yet. Should be no, not yet. A lot of people are getting worried about that one. I'm not one of them, but yeah. Let's just wait and see what happens. There's no big rush on this one. I don't understand why people are losing their mind about it. And even if the very worst were to happen and he didn't sign it, when did the club sell him? The club could keep him for another 18 months before they even thought about letting him go. So I wouldn't worry about anything like that yet, guys. Crosby Red said, Chubby, doesn't Manny have 3 years left on his contract? No need to panic. Yeah, kind of touching on just what I was saying a second ago. Nomad said, yeah, that always happens. You just know we'll get Everton in the 4th round or something. We rarely get these sweet draws where you can play the kids. It's fucking true, isn't it? We always end up in a Premier League draw against the team, whereas the others will get like fucking League 2, League 1 teams. We always end up with an all Premier League game. Garrett said, excluding Mbappe, if you got one player from PSG and one player from Napoli, who would the 2 players be? See, this kind of depends on fitness, because there's a player at PSG who has been a player I've wanted at Liverpool my entire life, but he's had nothing but injury problems. So I'm saying to myself, do I go with that one, or do I look at somebody else? So at Napoli, I'll go to Napoli first. At Napoli, I would probably have Insigne, probably because he's the youngest. It would be easier to say Mertens, but Mertens is getting on. Probably Insigne, I would say. Maybe Koulibaly. Actually, maybe Koulibaly. I'll probably take Koulibaly, and he'd probably be what we need a little bit more. I know that's taken away starting position perhaps from Joe Gomez, but it might allow us to go to 3 at the back as well. So if Koulibaly was an option, I'd probably go with Koulibaly. I'm still thinking about this PSG thing. I still can't make my mind up. So I'm going to have to think about this one a little bit longer. I know it should be a simple answer, but I really want to be fair and give you an honest answer. I'll come back to it. Give me 2 minutes and I'll come back to you with an answer. Hey Craig, how do you feel about Red Star Belgrade not being allowed to have fans at Anfield? It's not just Anfield, mate. Yeah, it's Anfield, it's Paris Saint-Germain and Napoli, of course. So it's really tough for them. Haven't been in the Champions League for so long, but they brought it on themselves, as people have said. They caused trouble. It is what it is. There's nothing can be done. I feel sad for the fans who, of course, didn't cause any trouble or had nothing to do with the situation. But at times, clubs can often get punished, or groups of people can get punished for the acts of the few. We've seen that before in football, a lot of times in football. And where else are we? I'm hoping they end up in so much debt they have to sell all their players, said Crosby Red. Look, they didn't fucking buy anyone, did they, this summer? They spent their they seem to have spent their budget on just renewing contracts of Harry Kane and a few other players. Yeah, I don't know. It's a crazy story. You'd imagine that a professional football club, instead of architects like that, whatever about a couple of weeks, but for it to go as long as it seems to be going, it's just becoming an absolute joke. But it's not our headache. I'd hate for it to be Liverpool's headache. It'd be fucking majorly embarrassing if it was our headache, but it isn't, so we leave it to Spurs. Spurs, the new rent boys, said yes, are well in. Spot on, that is brilliant. They are technically the rent boys, you're right. But your rent boys, mate, every fucking one of them. else we got? The team from Liverpool got a £6,000 fine for an administrative error for a supposed booking laughable and thrown out of the FA Cup. It's fucking ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, and then, as you said, stuff like this, that's multi-million pound stuff at stake. That's grand, don't worry about it. Sure, you go ahead and rent the MK Dons Stadium. Paul said, Anthony, I'm on Talk, $19.50 a month, got a free Fire Stick 4, £39 with the apps. You can put movie apps and everything on it, of course. Could our big rotation dishearten big players who expect to play week in and week out? That's a question that many people ask, actually, and it's a question that came up in the summer time and time again when we were linked with players. I don't know, is the honest answer. You'd expect, I want to say no, but I do think it may do. There may be some players who just wouldn't back themselves enough, and I know we all think that the top talented players would back themselves enough, but sometimes players don't want to come in and fight for their place. Sometimes players just want that wage and they want to be Johnny Big Balls at a club. So it could do for some players, I don't know. But what I would say is more important to Jurgen Klopp is that he wouldn't even entertain those players. He only wants players in that have a hunger, that want to improve themselves, that want to work for the team and that want to get somewhere. So those type of players probably would be the ones Klopp's looking at anyway, or the ones that he'd gone that far along in the transfer process to look to bring in. But I'm just trying to think of it from my sense to TDL, and for me it wouldn't stop me. I mean, if I backed myself, I'd back myself and I'd be willing to go in there and fight for my place, but at the end of the day I can only give my opinion, so I would say no, but you never know. Doesn't the Spurs stadium resemble a toilet seat? It really fucking does. It really does. You're spot on. I've seen some of those images side by side and it's hilarious. What else have we got? Hopefully they make look like a dick by trashing Spurs 4-0, said Pepper. Brendan Rodgers is a good manager, but he's very poor in Europe. But in the future, Brendan would be a world-class manager. The Liverpool job came too soon for him, said Imran. I think he'll be a very good manager as well, mate. And like you, I think he took the Liverpool job a little bit too early in his career. The European thing is a worry though, because it doesn't seem to be getting any better. And he's had time playing in Europe. He's had with Liverpool, he's had it with Celtic, and his record is pretty fucking shocking, to be fair. So I don't know if he'll ever get over that European hoodoo. Will said, like the smash button and subscribe to the channel, guys. Crosby Red said, the team kicked out of the FA Cup were told the reason that one of their players had a £10 outstanding fine from his previous fucking club. And at that level of the game as well, you could understand how that could easily be overseen. I mean, there's just madness. To me, that seems madness. I know people will say rules are rules or whatever, but at that level of football, you're talking about a fucking £10 fine and a team gets fucked out of the FA Cup. And I know it's the early stages of the FA Cup, but still thrown out of it nonetheless, so it seems ridiculous. I want to go back actually. Who was it that asked me that question a couple of minutes ago? I want to go all the way back because I told this gentleman I would come back and answer his question, so I'm going to come back. Where is it? Garrett. It was Garrett. Garrett. So the player I was thinking of for the last few minutes while I was waiting for you was Marco Verratti. He's a player who I've always wanted. He's one of my favourite midfielders in the world, but the reason I was taking so long to think was because he's been injury prone. He's had a lot of fucking injuries, but it's still insane that I think he would be ideal to play for Liverpool. So I'm gonna go with Marco Verratti as the player from Paris Saint-Germain, and as I said, I'll go with Koulibaly for my player from Napoli, mate. And apologies that answer took so long, but I honestly did want to give it some thought. Guys, I'm going to stick the PayPal stuff and the Patreon stuff into the chat now if anyone wants to send a donation over to the channel. Again, not going to ram it down your throat, so just stick it in there. That's what she said. Is Fabinho starting for Brazil? At right back, as far as I know. I believe he was supposed to start at right back anyway. Paul said, Craig, hope the phone-ins can happen, and could we send in vlogs when we say we were at the screen matches as a thought? That is something we thought of, actually. We did think of getting anybody that wants to send us in their 30-second thoughts after a game, perhaps. So if everyone just wants to pull out the phone after a game, record their thoughts immediately after a game for 30 or 40 seconds, we can piece them all together then, and we can do a little video of everyone's reactions after the game. So absolutely, Paul, that's a really good thought, and it's something that myself and Connor had a conversation about previously. The phone-ins can happen anytime. All we need to do is people to just let us know in the chat on the website that they want to come on, and it's no problem, we'll sort it out from there. It's a really easy thing to sort out. It's basically a link that gets sent to you. You click on that and you come into the chat. It's really straightforward. Ant said, Crosby Red, it's an absolute joke when you consider what teams at the top of the pyramid are getting away with. Imagine how all the players feel, said Crosby Red. It must be a kick in the balls for them, seriously. Like, it's really tough. Again, guys, excuse me if I'm sounding a bit weird tonight, or if I'm not coming across as myself. I am smothered with a head cold, so I'm just trying to tick along and get through the stream and not faint, basically. So bear with me on tonight's stream. Damo said, there's a great clip on YouTube where Brendan Rodgers is doing a fundraising run for Northern Ireland Hospice, and the non-looker shouts, great character, Brendan. I've seen that clip before. Really fucking Irish sense of humour, that one. Always that one thumbs downer, said Megan Onke. There is, mate, but you know my answer to that one. Fuck him. Or her. Fuck him or her. What else have we got? What's all the ears? I'm losing this. Loads of ear emojis all of a sudden popping up. Am I missing something here? Or is this a private joke? An inside joke? El Chapo's in the house. How are you, sir? Great to have you in. How are you keeping? I hope you're well. How are you finding this international break, buddy? Are you like the rest of us? Are you fucking bored senseless? Because I'm really struggling, man. I'm going through the detox here at this point with no Reds. And the weekend hasn't even kicked in yet, so still have the entire weekend to get through. At least when you get through the weekend, guys, of these international breaks, and you get to the Monday and you can look ahead and know that you've got the Reds in that weekend, you can start the countdown process. But when you're stuck the week before and you know you have a whole week ahead of you then after that, it's tough. Crosby Red said 39 likes and 1 idiot, so please hit the smash button or like the smash button. And if people think we're saying this wrong, we're intentionally saying like the smash button. It's a bit of an inside joke, so if you are watching, please do, guys, take a second, hit that like button, and of course if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, do that as well if you wouldn't mind. Join this big LFC family that we have. Big test for LFC next month, so many games, really exciting, said Yasser. I can't wait. I cannot wait for these big games to come thick and fast. It's the games that I look forward to. I don't like the... People said, oh, it's shit that we have Chelsea, Manchester City, PSG. Fuck it, bring them on. I love this stuff. I love periods like this for Liverpool. One big game after another is great. It's actually, well, it's great if the results are going your way. If you're going through a shitty period, then it's a little bit tougher, but fuck it, this is what you want as fans. El Chapo said, it's a load of bollocks, Craig, at least we have Till tomorrow night. On Till, I think I said earlier on, did he have his weigh in yet? I didn't see if he had. I'd seen the Amir Khan weigh in, that he had to strip right down actually to make the weight, but didn't see with the Till weigh in. Dara Kid 483, how are you? Great to have you with us, mate. Thank you for joining in on the chat on Periscope. Bored shitless with the international break. Just praying for no more injuries, said Ant. I'm with you, buddy. To be fair, the ones we've had so far, Simon Mignolet does seem a little bit of one of those, oh, I'm injured, oh, I better go back to my club and make sure everything's okay. And then obviously the one with Adam Lallana, which you know about, could keep him out for up to a month. Other than that, you don't want anybody else picking up any fucking injuries, particularly the guys away with Brazil. Taste the smash button and like the channel, said Will. The PSG game is gonna be a classic, said Megan Onke. I hope so. I hope we fucking spank them, mate. I really do. And we're capable of it. We're capable of going out there, and before that Neymar knows what the fuck is going on, we could be 2 or 3-0 up. So, fuck them. Let's go give them a spanking. We're good enough to do it. Let's get behind the guys. I've no doubt we will. Fuck that. I've no doubt we will. We're gonna give them a spanking. There, I've said it. It's done. It's done. We're giving them a spanking. He weighs in at £169 championship weight. Brilliant. Thank you for that one, mate. Hope the Egyptian FA are looking after Mo Salah. I'm worried they're selling tickets for fans to see Mo sleep in his room, said Damo. It did look like, and Dara, yes mate, I absolutely reckon we will beat PSG. Without a shadow of a doubt at home. Away, I don't know, I'd probably take a draw if I'm being honest. Although others have reckoned we could go away and beat them as well. Yeah, that Egyptian FA thing, Damo, it looks like it's been sorted. It looks like there's going to be somebody from security with Mo Salah at all times, and it looks like the players, of course, are going to get extra privacy and stuff, which is the minimum you'd expect. What else have we got? Paul said Gark must have been spying on you. The knob left his mark with a thumbs down. Nah, it wasn't him, to be fair. He wouldn't be that petty. Ah, no, he would be that petty actually, but just not to me because he doesn't know who the fuck I am. But yeah, fuck him. Fuck him, fuck that channel, fuck the Manx. Mignolet slapped Lallana and both of them got injured. There you go. Problem solved. Job done. Yes, I got to the bottom of it. And Crosby Red said, you do know Lallana has a groin injury, SR, so you're basically saying he slapped him in the bollocks and injured him as well. That was class. Just reading that comment and then Crosby Red slate in with it. You do know it was a groin injury. Will said, Cavani, old Neymar, will spend half the time on the floor. Mbappe's actually quite good and it's the only one we need to worry about. And Ant said, hashtag autism awareness, which of course is something very close to my heart and something I've lots of love for. Rod said, what's up everybody, how's things? Party all night, sleep all day. God, Rod, man. Do you ever sleep? I'm starting to think that you're turning it into me now, Rod. You're catching the Craigie, where you just, as you said, stay up all night and sleep all day. Does this channel show match coverage like Champions League and Premier League? No, mate. Absolutely not. We would be kicked off YouTube if we showed match coverage. It's against the rules, so not. We do watch-alongs, we give commentary on games, we do phone-ins afterwards, but absolutely no content for matches shown on here. Matip got injured breaking the fight up, said Paul. Well, he probably got injured just, walking across the training ground. He probably picked up a soft tissue injury because he's forever getting fucking injured. CJB broken, excuse me, said the positivity around Liverpool at the minute is great. I just hope we don't fall short when I just hope we don't fall short when it matters like we usually do. It's so nice to see us finally act like we're one of the big boys. Mate, I'm right with you on every sense. I hope the fuck we can make this a proper challenge, and I hope to God when it comes to February, March time we're still there or thereabouts, pushing all the way for this Premier League title and of course a good Champions League run. But I'm not going to lie, guys, I've said it all along, for me, it's all about the Premier League. I would give anything for the Reds to get this title. You said this to me before about the Carabao Cup games, and it absolutely couldn't be true. There is no way on God's green earth you're allowed screen Carabao Cup games on YouTube. It just couldn't be true. There's no way I'm buying that that's legit. I think you've said this to me before, that there's just no way. They don't sell TV rights for games and stuff and then let people just put them out on YouTube, mate. There's no way that's legit. And I've also never seen any other Liverpool channels do it. I mean, if that was legit, why wouldn't Redmen do it? Why wouldn't the Anfield Rap do it? Why wouldn't Daz do it? Why wouldn't any of the other lads do it? If it was legit, of course they would. They'd get stupid views on it, but it's not, so they don't. Rod said, hey ho, let's go. That just wrote what I was thinking. I've never asked you before. You have, mate. You've asked me about 4 times about that, to be fair. Is he trying to get me banned? I don't know, but I'm not stupid enough to get banned, so if we're going to get banned, it's going to be for tearing into somebody or something enjoyable. You can't stream Scottish games either. Do you know what? You're just annoying me. Time for you to fuck off. That guy, seriously, like, you can stream Scottish games, you can stream Carabao Cup games. Don't matter that all these TV channels are paying millions for TV rights. You're allowed to screen them on here because Matchday said that you can come onto YouTube and stream them. And that'll be fine. When YouTube come and close down your channel and all the hundreds of hours of work you've put in goes down the drain, you can just say, but some fella I've never heard of before on YouTube who doesn't really pop in much, only to come in every 4 or 5 days to say the same fucking stupid thing, said that we could do it. Surely to God that's legit, YouTube. Surely to God all these TV companies paying these multi-million-pound contracts doesn't mean that I can't show it here on YouTube because Matchday said I can. You can stream porn, said Megan Donkey. Well, I don't know about that one. I know that you can fucking get it handy enough. I don't know YouTube's licensing with pornography, let's say. Excalibur, said Pepper Red. There you go. If someone did it, they wouldn't be on YouTube long, maybe 5 minutes. It's absolute fucking nonsense. It really is, like. I don't know, and he said that wasn't the first time he said it. I guarantee you that was at least the 3rd or 4th time he's been on here saying that very same thing to me. You actually can stream Scottish League games. These Geordies do it every weekend. I'm still not having it's legal, mate. There's no fucking way I'm having it that's legal. Why would BT bother their arse paying for the rights for the Scottish Premier League if you could just go on YouTube? They just put up a YouTube channel, pay no rights to them and just put it on there. They might get away with doing it, but I'm still not having that as legit. It isn't copyrighted on YouTube. I'd honestly need to see that in black and white from YouTube to believe it. And look, either way it wouldn't really matter to me because I'm never going to be scrolling Scottish football because it's a pile of shit as far as I'm concerned. The Excalibur has been slammed down. Pepper Red said, match of the day, you might have a point, but I tried watching the Old Firm last week and it was pulled off after 20 minutes. I hope you're talking about the game, mate, there. Well, actually, I don't mind if it was you. If it was you that was pulled off after 20 minutes, it would have been a good afternoon for you, but I think you're talking about the game. It does seem, all of this makes no sense. Why would TV companies pay all these millions and millions and millions for somebody to suddenly be allowed to come on and just go, oh okay then. Do you know what? You can stream it on YouTube. Fuck BT, doesn't matter, don't mind them. You guys can go on there and stream it on YouTube. Sure, go on, work away. Rod said, you guys are class. Looked at some other channel last night, full of trolls, no mods, hundreds of comments per second. Everyone glass half empty. Thank you, Craig and fellow Reds. I'm so glad what you said there included all these amazing people in the channel, Rod. So thank you for the comments. And of course to the mods. The mods are fucking brilliant. Blue Spanner FC are top of the league. And I love the comments in our chat. I love that people can actually come in and have a genuine conversation without people coming on going bigtitty.com or fuck Liverpool, fuck all you scousers, bin lipper cunts, any of this shit, because they just get booted out like that. It's beautiful. It's not a sword, it's a weapon of mass destruction. There you go. There are weapons of mass destruction here. Match of the Day said, that's weird because I stream the game because I'm one of the Geordies who streams it every week. I streamed the Old Firm to 10k people last week. Do you, no mate, as you said, you've streamed it, so I can't argue with you in that sense because you streamed it and got away with it. Do you have it in black and white from YouTube to say that you are 100% allowed to stream this channel? So for instance, if you were on there next week and somebody reported you to YouTube and somebody said, look, these guys are streaming it, do you know for a fact that you can't be kicked off for doing that? If you're right, fair play, but it just seems suspect to me, especially for the Old Firm game. Football Nation said, Craig, you're a legend. I'm catching up to you on subscribers. We're both growing quick. Brilliant, mate. That's great to hear. I'm so glad your channel's doing well. Well done. Nice one. Yeah, it's great. I'm loving things on here as well, and thank you for the kind words, mate. It's really nice of you, and I hope your channel continues to do well. The more of us that can grow, the better. So good. Well done to you. Well done to us, and let's hope it keeps going. If any game's on a British channel, you can't stream it. Facts, that goes with any sport. Well, the Old Firm Derby was definitely on a British channel, so. Peter, mate, good night, buddy. We'll talk to you soon. Rod said, bigtitty.com. Give it a minute, must check it out. I keep saying that. That's the first name that comes into my head every time I think of trolls, Rod. I don't know why. If you go back and watch probably 3 or 4 other streams where I've done that, I think that's the first thing that's come into my head on every single one of them. Craig, love you so much, said Stephen McDonough. Thank you, mate. That's really kind. I think I'm just being an arty bastard, to be fair, at times, but I just don't buy into some of this nonsense. It just seems nonsense to me anyway. Look, if I think somebody's talking crap, I'm gonna say it. If I'm proven to be incorrect, they would get a full apology from me without a shadow of a doubt. But I mean, why would I believe some? No, I'm not talking about this match of the day. This match of the day that's talking here now, he's in here all the time. I know that dude. But the other guy that was on earlier on, just coming in saying, oh yeah, mate, go ahead, stream them all, sure, it's fucking grand, don't worry about it, you'll be laughing. All the Carabao Cup games. Just, why would I believe him? Don't know him from Adam. And as I said, I'm not talking about the match of the day with the blue spanner. Completely different guy. I'm talking about the other guy that was in earlier on. El Chapo said, bullshit, because Sky Sports will get you banned for 90 days. Well, look, on Twitter, and I know Twitter could be different, but on Twitter once, I got... not a ban, I got a warning, a copyright infringement warning on Twitter once, because something funny happened in the crowd when I was watching the game at home on my TV, and I I video recorded I think it was 8 seconds of something in the crowd, not even on the field, and I put it up on Twitter for the laugh because it was funny, and I got a fucking warning, a copyright warning straight away on that one, and that wasn't even showing football content, that was just showing the crowd. Look who's back on YouTube, said Dara O'Connor. How are you, sir? Match of the day said, no, Craig, I stream the games every week. It's very dodgy because one week you could get took off by BT Sports and the other week you could stream to 66,000 people in Barcelona. I commentate over the games. It's tough, isn't it? The commentary, mate. You could be fucking excellent at it at this point, but doing the little bits that I do for the watch-alongs, I think I've done maybe 6, 7, maybe 8 at this point. I'm trying to do the watch-alongs and do a bit of commentary, let people know what's going on in the game, dip back into the chat. It's an art form, man, and I struggle. It's really tough to do it. It's the Blue Spanner Ultras, has a better ring to it, said Paul. You're right, mate. When you're right, you're right. BigBollocks.com is red, says Rod. How do you think I got 42,000 subscribers? I'd never have got the first 21,000 if I didn't show the games. Well done, buddy. Honestly, I'm sincere when I say that. Don't begrudge you a single one of your subscribers. Obviously, I'm looking at doing this in a different way, and showing content has never been part of what we're trying to do. It'll probably mean we will grow incredibly slower than yourself, and it may take us fucking years to get near 40,000. We may never get there, but we're doing things this way, and we're having a laugh. But it's not a numbers game. It never was just a numbers game for us. If it was a numbers game, there's easier ways of growing it. There's easier ways of monetizing it. And there's easier ways for me to have made a living from this. But it's never what I wanted to do. I don't begrudge you one of yours, as I said. But we have a kind of a road mapped out the way we want to go on here. And that road pretty much involves slow, steady progression. A really close-knit group of people. And that will become bigger and bigger and bigger, hopefully. But I honestly want to know, or almost know, every single person, if I can, that subscribe to this channel, or at least have some interaction with them. I'd rather almost cap this channel than have to miss out on some people's comments all the time. I know that sounds weird, but it's beautiful that we have this group of people that I seem Every night. I know most of the people in this chat at this point. Sky Sports have paid £600 million in a deal with the English Football League until 2024 for all the leagues, League Cup and is it Checkatrade Cup matches? Serious fucking wedge, isn't it? 600 million, Jesus Christ. Dara said, came over from Periscope. Ah, that was you, buddy. How are you? Great to have you with us, mate. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, Dara, if you're on. You may already have, buddy, I don't know. But if you haven't, do take a second to hit the subscribe button and give us a thumbs up if you can, sir. Rod said, personally, I watch every game with the sound off on Optus and Craig's commentary on YouTube. That's really nice, Rod. Thank you. I'd love to have a proper go at it sometimes, just doing commentary. So, whether like even if it wasn't a Liverpool game, if it was just something I was doing on an app or something for, let's just say, a Barcelona game or something, I'd love to have a go at just doing commentary and just be concentrating on that because it fascinates me. It's really tough. You'd expect it to be easy, but maybe it's just me, but I find it pretty tough. Match of the Day said, it's hard to read through the comments and commentate, Craig. I absolutely agree. You've the harder job because you don't show the game, so you need to explain what's actually going on. Oh yeah, that's true actually. I never thought of that part of it. I suppose I do, but mainly, mate, I probably do think that most of the people are watching the game somewhere, even though they may not be. I'd be more worried if I thought people weren't watching the game somewhere and I was their only hope of finding out what's going on in the game. I feel more pressure on myself then. Do a stream for the Till fight tomorrow if you can, Craig. I honestly, El Chapo, mate, I don't feel I am not qualified. I don't feel I'm knowledgeable enough about UFC to do a stream on it, buddy. I'll do the McGregor fight because it's McGregor and I'm Irish and it'll be a fucking laugh. But for like Till or somebody, I feel like I'd be laughed off the airwaves, buddy, if I did a stream on that. Boxing, no problem. No problem. Do a stream on boxing, no bother. But UFC, I don't feel I'm knowledgeable enough to hold a stream. David Dallo said, I'm back, boys and girls. Baby woke up. What's the topic? What is the topic, actually? We're dipping in between them, David, at this minute in time. Pretty much television rights for football seems to be the topic. You're doing a great job, Craig. You'll get to 50,000 subs by the end of the season, in my opinion, because you've already got 3,000 subscribers, and then Champions League nights you'll make 10,000 subs. I'm really looking forward to the Champions League nights, buddy. I really am. Regardless of what numbers we get, I'm just looking forward to sharing the moments or what happens in the games with the people in the chat here and celebrating together. Really looking forward to that because it's what we want. It's what we want as Liverpool fans, to be in these big nights, to play the big games. And I can't wait to see what's going to be happening in February, March, April when the season's getting to an end. Hopefully we're still involved. We're all on here absolutely shitting ourselves as the big games come thick and fast. And every game, every 3 points is absolutely crucial. I can't wait. I'm going to be a bag of nerves. I'm probably going to be here with a brown paper bag breathing in and out. But I can't wait for it to happen. Can't wait to share it with everybody in the group and see how you're all reacting. Maybe you guys calm me down because I am a bag of nerves at times. Pepper Red said, 42,000, fair play. Do you have a fan chat as well, match of the day, or does it get swamped? Said Pepper Red. Where's my mate Rap? Said Dave's LFC chats. I don't know, mate, he could be just busy tonight. He was in last night and the night before, to be fair. He was on the night before, actually. Come on, lads, show Craig some love with the heart, said Nabil. Yeah, guys, if you do have a second, if you haven't yet, hit the thumbs up, please do. Match of the day, 42,000 subs. What are you showing? Replays of Liverpool versus Manchester City. Imagine that actually for a channel. Just constantly on loop, Liverpool beating City. That's all you did on your channel over and over and over again. We're 24 subs away from 3.8 subscribers. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, said Will. That's not bad actually, 24 subs away. So if there's anybody watching and they're enjoying the stream and they haven't yet hit the subscribe button, you guys know we're only 24 away from 3.8k. So that would really help us get along. If you are watching, take a second please, hit that button and join in the chat here. Get to know the guys because they're a really great bunch. UFC Willie Nelson comes to mind, said Meganonki. Raptor is heavy handling the trolls in a cellar, said Pepper Red. Squizzlums, talk to you soon, buddy. Thanks for joining us, mate, and enjoy the weekend if I don't speak to you soon. Oh, by the way, you've risen past legend status when you said to that guy last night, I don't give a fuck if you subscribe or not. In fact, fuck off. Classic Craig. That's why, in 6 months you were rocket. I was thinking about that in bed last night, Paul. So if anyone doesn't know what Paul's talking about, a lad came on last night and said, give me one sentence on why I should subscribe to your channel. And I don't remember my exact words, but what Paul said there was something along the lines of, I don't give a fuck if you subscribe or not, mate. Completely up to you. In fact, fuck off. That's pretty much how I feel about things. I'm not going to beg people, come on, dance monkey, fucking dance. Fuck you. If you're enjoying the chat, you are very welcome, and you will be respected and loved and given attention and cherished by the guys in the group. But if you come in here trying to act like a dickhead and say dance fat boy dance, then you're going to be told to go fuck yourself. Don't give a fuck who you are. I don't care if Jurgen Klopp comes in here and says that he'd get the same treatment. David said, right, I haven't actually thought about the TV rights, to be honest, other than the smaller teams in the league are getting a shit deal. Match of the Day said, who agrees? When you get the high subs on this channel, you should apply to be a commentator. I would love to listen to you on all games, not just LFC games. Would love that. Thank you, mate. I have a dream. Oh, I sound like fucking Martin Luther King, don't I? I have a dream, as I've said before. What I think football is really lacking in this day and age is a late night football show. And I mean a proper late night football show where a group of 3 or 4 fans sit round and really fucking talk about the game like we're talking about it here, with language, saying what the fuck you want to say when you want to say it, not being careful about offending managers or offending football clubs, just really talking about football the way fans should speak about it. I think there's a massive gap in the market for that, and if you can get guys who are funny and you can get guys who have charisma and appeal, I think that show, whoever hosts it, whoever's on it, could be an absolute goldmine for somebody out there. And hopefully someday I'd love to be part of a show like that. Does it not? Do you guys never think that, by the way? You've got Match of the Day. Match of the Day does a job, top notch. But other than that, there's a huge gap there for a show, and you don't even have to fucking show the goals. You could just be talking about the incidents during the game or talking about what happened that weekend. I think there's a massive, massive market there for a show. Rod said, sometimes I get invited to watch with 2 old dudes. One goes for Spurs, the other for United. They always whinge. It's depressing. They're like the 2 old guys from the Muppet Show. No, couldn't do it that, Rod. No, not a fucking hope. David Dallow said, 59 watching, 49 likes. Come on, boys, smash the like button like it was your mate's sexy wife. Oh god, I thought I was the only one with a fucked up sense of humour. You're all as fucked up as me in here, all of you, every single one of you. Good evening, guys. Friday, so I'm sober, no beer at the weekend, said Lars. Lars, mate, I think you've got that one a bit backwards. Isn't it supposed to be the weekend where you get hammered, and the weekdays where you stay sober? Unless of course your work is flipped around, buddy, and you're doing it the other way. No judgment here at all, mate. Evening, Lars, as well, from a lot of people. Great to see him back in the chat. Well done, Craig, said Dave's LFC chance. I don't even know what you're saying well done for, but I'm taking it, Dave. I'm taking that one, thank you. El Chapo said, Dave, love your videos, let's get it, baby. And as we said before, yeah, Dave does have his own YouTube channel, so get over there and check Dave's out. As he said, Dave's LFC chats. Get over there, check him out, support him, show him some love. We have the comedian, the live World Cup comedian. It seems like a decent channel. Why should I subscribe to this in one sentence? Yeah, you know my answer to that, and you know what I'm going to say to that, so I'm not even going to give you the answer. Hey Lars, is the beer super expensive where you are? Says Rod. Actually, do you know what? If someone says, why should I subscribe? Don't. You're better off not subscribing because you'll just leave. You'll be offended. Lars said, nah, it's more fun to get drunk the day before my job. Weekends are not so fun as I have the wife here. Oh God, mate, I'm sure if she heard you saying that, she'd kick the fuck out of you. I know mine would. You're supposed to say nice, kind things about the wife in public, Lars. Come on. That's true, Craig. There's not one show on there that does that. Would be an excellent idea. Just a group of fans having an educated opinion on everything from goals to decisions. Exactly. I'm not having to worry about offending the referees about what they say, or not have to worry about offending a club about what they say, or offending other commentators on other channels. Just speak openly. But I envision this being on Channel 4 or something because they seem the type of channel that would do this. Dave said, Craig, I had a great one on Twitter tonight. A person asked the question, who really cares about whales? And I replied, Japanese fishermen. Which is true. It is true. Dave, you only speak of the truth. Craig, you've converted us to your sense of humour. Good. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. There should be more fucked up people in the world. I wish everybody for one day just spoke what was going on in their minds, just said exactly what went through their head at that moment without fear of repercussion. Would that be a beautiful day? Because I'd love to hear what people really think of people. Enjoy the game says, hello lads, made it to 5,000 subscribers today. Get in, been watching this channel for weeks now. Great job, Craig. Live streams are a powerful thing on YouTube. Firstly, mate, congratulations, 5,000 subscribers. Well done, well done. Hopefully we'll get there ourselves in the near future. But to you, mate, well done. I know how much work you must have put in to get there. So as I said before, nothing but love to people that go out there and put the work in, mate. So congratulations, sincerely, for the 5,000 subs, and I hope your channel continues to grow. I'm a Viking, we don't care about the wives, said Lars. There you go. There you go. I mean, I can't argue with that, Lars. You had me by the balls. I can't argue with that. Lars Valhalla, said Paul. We've got our own Viking now, said Pepper Red. There you go. Lars is our Viking. He's going to go, and I won't say the or word, but he's going to go and pillage for us. I didn't want to use the other word, Lars, because, you know, it's even for me, that's a bit fucking crude to be saying. Our new Ragnar, said Thomas Boland. Yes, our very own Ragnar, the Viking. Even though Ragnar was Estonian, to be fair, but we will call him a Viking anyway. Lars, exactly where are you, buddy, if you don't mind me asking? Where exactly in the world you are, if that's okay. Paul said, this break is out of order. I've got to spend more money with me bird. Sorry about that, mate. Does this channel show Chelsea versus Liverpool in the Carabao Cup? I heard it's not copyrighted at all if it's true. Don't delete his message. He was only taking the piss. Catch Your Football was only messing. I know he was only messing. He was on a wind up. No, mate, we're definitely showing it. We show all the Carabao Cup games on here. We also show all the Scottish games because there's no copyright. It's a free for all. Show them all here, 24 hours a day. We're constantly showing Scottish football and Carabao Cup games because there's no copyright on them at all. And of course now, I probably do have to follow this up by saying, I am of course joking. We do not show any content on here, in case we get fucked off YouTube. Jurgen Klopp said, I want Rabiot. I've told Edwards, but he doesn't seem to care. And when I say Kloppo, I mean our very own Kloppo. You're from Sweden, Lars, thank you. Obviously I would have guessed Sweden, but I didn't want to be presumptuous. Capture Football said, subs mate, by the way. Thank you, buddy, that's really kind of you. And I'm glad to have you here with us, having a chat and enjoying the channel. I'm so fucking jealous of the numbers though, but congratulations. Riso was a Viking, his free kick against United in celebration, covering his head, best LFC free kick. Or was that a question actually, best ever LFC free kick? I think it was. Without a shadow of a doubt, it's Gary Max against Everton, without a shadow of a doubt. That free kick, he pinched about 15 fucking yards, maybe even a bit more, and scored to get us into the Champions League. So for me, that's the best free kick for Liverpool. Rod said, Lars, so the beer is expensive over in Sweden. Enjoy the game, said I literally made 5k subs today, Craig. I know, yeah, I've seen that earlier on. I'm honestly delighted for you. I know how I'd feel hitting that mark, so I've no doubt you're on cloud 9 today. And don't stop there, buddy. Keep pushing on, because if you made 5, no doubt you'll go and make 10, 20, 25, mate. And keep going. Whatever you're doing, you seem to be doing it perfectly. So keep going, keep being yourself, keep growing, and honestly, congratulations. I mean that sincerely. I'm not somebody who begrudges anybody anything in life. If you put the fucking work in, buddy, all power to you. Lots of love from us. I don't begrudge anybody any success. El Chapo said, I'm showing my big Irish balls. It's all free. There you go. El Chapo's big Irish balls, 100% free. Hairy or non-hairy, it's up to you. I'm so excited, says enjoy the game. I don't blame you, honestly. I would be as well. It's a big number. It's a big achievement, so well done. Capture Football got a yellow for saying he likes Scottish football, said Paul. Lars, don't lie. You Vikings have spread your seed everywhere, even in England, said yes, sir. There you go, Lars. You're everywhere, all over the shop. I'm blaming you guys for the redheads actually in Ireland as well. I'm blaming you guys for that one. You're the reason that my son has red hair. I'm still looking at the 5k subs, mate. That is class. Honestly, well done. 2.5 for me was a big deal, which is a weird number. You think I'd have said 3 or something, but I don't know. I'm a person that works in round numbers, so 2.5, 5, 10, they're all nice numbers. So getting the 5, well done. Absolute quality. David says, yeah, I'd agree. The best goal though, can't choose too many to choose from. Mellor versus Arsenal, Gerrard versus West Ham, Olympiacos, Hull, Luis Garcia versus Chelsea and Juve. Because it made Mourinho cry. Oh, did ya? I really did. He still doesn't shut up about that goal to this day. And fuck him. Absolutely fuck him forever. Fuck him. Craig, you are my twin, said Lars Magnussen. Okay. Does that mean that I can do shit and get you in trouble if we're twinsies? Do we feel it? If I feel pain, do you feel it, Lars? If I scratch my balls, do you feel it? Aren't you fast pepper, said El Chapo. Right guys, last 15 minutes, anything in particular you want to have a chat about before we head off tonight, because my throat is absolutely killing me. So what have we got the last 15 minutes? Somebody give us a subject there worth having a laugh about here for the last 15. Craig, can you Craig, you can do what you want, but get my balls. You can do what you want. Oh, get off my balls, sorry. I was wondering what you were saying about balls there. Oh, I'm not. No. Incredible football, no. Real words only, please. I'll tell you what, incredible football. You could say that and I can just speak back to you in Irish and see if you can answer me. What player from a top 6 rival would you take today and you can only take one? Oh God, it would have been easy a while ago. You just had De Gea, but now TikTok. De Bruyne, has to be De Bruyne. Have to go with Kevin De Bruyne. Don't know about anyone else, but for me, defo Kevin De Bruyne. What player from a top 6 rival would you take? We've done that one. Love Luis Garcia posting a video of himself dressed as a ghost in Halloween. Class. Absolute class. David said he'd take De Bruyne in a heartbeat. Can't you speak Irish, Craig? Is that can't or can? El Chapo. But either way, no. Absolutely not. No. Just the bare minimum words, mate. Definitely cannot speak fluent Irish. But he didn't know that when I said that. Pepper Red said, it's too late for stupidly big words. Don't you want to be understood? Yeah, I don't get that. I don't get why people come on and just throw those stupid comments out. Honestly don't. I fucking almost guarantee that they have no clue what they're talking about either. They've pulled 3 or 4 big words out of a dictionary and suddenly want to sound like they're intellectual. They weren't Scrabble words then, wasn't, says Rod. De Bruyne for Patbot, Kante for Paul. Pepper Red hates long words, said Megan Anki. Sane, he still has Trent in his pocket, said Yasser. What's going on with him though? Why did anybody know why he really went home from the German squad today? It was for personal reasons, of course, but you know, that doesn't stop some people from having ideas about why he left. Pepper Red would have Martial. Of all the players in the top 6, honestly, all the players in the top 6 clubs, you'd have Martial. Wow. I'm not. No, I think he's a good footballer. So don't worry about your spanner, mate. I think Anthony Martial is a good footballer, but I'd say there's better players there in the top 6 that we could rob if we were willing to take one, or if we could just go and grab any of them. Aguero or De Bruyne, said Megan Anki. Kante and Naby are the best midfielders in the world, said El Chapo. I have no idea what you're trying to say there, Phil Brazil. Honestly, you've lost me. You've absolutely lost me. Maybe somebody else can try and decipher that for me. Aguero and Bobby, says Will. He didn't want to eat those bogies. I don't blame him, to be fair, Rod. Nobody does. Or nobody wants to eat his bogies or smell Mr. Scratch and Sniff either. Probably Pep said, come back or you're fired. Oh yeah, there is that one, isn't it? I keep forgetting he's a Manchester City player and they're not allowed going to international break, so they all have to be back at Manchester City. So that's Sterling, all the Brazilian players, and Sane that are all mystically back. Neymar do the roles in the canteen. We don't know as of yet. I read an article though, it was very informative, of Pep having a reputation for bullying players. Ibrahimovic when he was at Barca was one, and Goetze at Bayern Munich, possibly now Sane. Interesting. I knew Martial would alert the Vipers, said Pepper Red. You fancy TFC making playoffs? Does anybody know? Someone deleted that, but what? Can someone explain to him that Craig needs and will hit smell? Google the flopping and mergers should start up front for Google. #tools in the Google. What on earth? Does anybody have a fucking Scooby-Doo what that lad is talking about? Like, see guys, you mightn't see the chat all the time, but this is what I have to try and decipher sometimes. So I'm going to read this out to everybody. What's written down here, and maybe somebody can figure it out. Can somebody explain to him, full stop, that Craig, full stop, needs and will hit smell, full stop. Google the flopping and mergers should start up front for Google. #tools in the Google. That's what I have to try and read out sometimes, and I sound like a stuttering fuck up here a lot of the time trying to read stuff out, but that's what I'm up against. And I understand, of course I do understand that English is not everybody's first language. I completely get that, and this seems to be something different though. I'm not having to go with somebody here who's struggling to put a grammatically correct sentence together. I think somebody here is just absolutely fucking either smoking something magnificent or perhaps needs to put down the bottle. I hope the travelling cop have a song for Kane in his shiny gold boots, said Crosby Red. Sorry, what is the topic? I haven't got a clue, Rod. We didn't quite get to one topic. You didn't sign up to be a translator, said Will. I mean, honestly, lads, sometimes I feel like an idiot because sometimes there's shorthand and I mightn't just get the shorthand. I can understand the shorthand sometimes, but Stuff like that fucking goes over my head. That guy's on magic mushrooms, said Paul. I don't know, but whatever he's on, it must be magnificent. I'll send over some of my Viking beer and then you'll understand everything, said Lars. Go on, please do, mate. Send it over. If it mixes with Diet Chav, it's all good. If it doesn't mix with Diet Chav, it's not passing my lips. Yassar said, Field Brazil use Google Translate, man. He may well have used Google Translate, to be fair, because some of the translations that I get on Twitter as well are absolutely hilarious. And if the dude is genuinely trying to tell us something, I fucking feel really bad about it, but none of that made any sense to me whatsoever. Double Dutch, said Megan Onke. Wrigley Mick said, a long time, how's everybody doing? Great to have you back, mate. I hope you're well. I am tickety boo, as seem to be most of the people in the chat. David Dallow said, would be a bad move on Pep's part to be fair, Sane seems a quality player. If he was to leave, would you bid for him? Personally, I like him and would. I wouldn't bid for him because I don't think we'd ever get him. Would I have him as a player? Yes, absolutely. He's excellent. I think Leroy Sané is a fantastic player, one of the best young players in the world. But I just don't think there's any way they'd ever sell him to us. That's the only reason I'm saying no to a bid. From a perspective of his quality, absolutely, all day. Damo, you might find that Sané uses tons of conditioner, says Rod. I mean, that could be it. That could be a reason. Yeah, Indie Music said, to be honest, that Brazil guy is right, Craig. You'll need / will crop end and Milner good tractor for Petrov and making the sunshine fell Brazil is Harry and Harry is #crazy. I don't know why I didn't think of that in the first place. Indie Music, it should have been so clear to me. Now that I look at it, it's so obvious. Does anyone remember John Wark? Absolutely, absolutely. Have you spotted how some pundits mix up Mane by calling him Sane? I have, and the one that really fucking gets me is, was it Ian Darth, I think, was always called Kante Conte. That fucking does my head in, especially when you had Conte on the sidelines and he's calling Kante Conte. That did my head in. I still scream at the television when I hear him saying that. And I literally do fucking scream at the television. I'm not just saying that. Oh, Joaquim Lowe uses hand sanitizer. He defo doesn't. He defo doesn't give a fuck. He is scratching, sniffing and shaking without a shadow of a doubt. Martin G said, I've half a bottle of Johnny Powers down me fat neck and still make more sense than that lad, for fuck's sake. See, I understood all of that, Martin, mate, so obviously you can enjoy the second half of that bottle and you'll still be fine. Paul said, I'm off before Magic Mushroom guy blows me mind. Talk to you soon, Paul, mate. Enjoy your Friday, buddy. What's the latest on Rabiot, said Eganito? The latest that I've read there, and let me just read it back out here. It's a lot easier to read out what I had down. So bear with me 2 seconds while I get it back open. So the latest that I've read is, it says Liverpool have no interest in signing Paris Saint-Germain midfielder Adrien Rabiot. The Reds were strongly linked this week with a move for the 23-year-old who's out of contract with Paris Saint-Germain at the end of the season. One report claimed representatives of the Reds had made contact with both the mother and who was the agent of the player and suggested the club had spoken to Rabiot on the phone regarding a transfer. However, Liverpool are understood to be baffled by such stories, with Klopp having had no conversations with the France international in private or otherwise to discuss an imminent deal. The Reds boss is happy with the midfield options, having splashed out almost 100 million this summer to sign Naby Keita and Fabinho. So that's the reason I posted the title to the stream, mate. So take from that what you may. Some people think that it's just nonsense from the club denying stuff, but they are interested. Other people, like myself, think that yes, we may well be interested, but I think we're fighting a losing battle because I think he'll end up at Barcelona. And then of course other people will fully believe that the club have no interest. it's up to you to look at that whichever way you want, buddy. It's tough to know who to believe in this day and age with football. It really is. Imran said, I cannot recall one bad signing from Klopp which cost Liverpool a fortune. There hasn't been one. Absolutely hasn't been one. Anthony, buddy, good night, mate, and we'll catch up with you really soon. And thanks again for the images, buddy, of the training ground and the update. Craig, if I had a bottle of Powers, I would be in the Shade Station. I can't drink whiskey at all, guys. Jesus Christ. The last time I drank whiskey, I was about 25, I'd say, and I woke up asleep in the front garden. I just cannot do whiskey at all. It just does not agree with me one bit. Oh God, I hate International, said Wrigley Mick. You're not alone, mate. You are not alone. I fucking despise them. Ronaldo 7, no mate, we don't show any games on here at all. We do watch alongs for Liverpool games, do nightly streams and stuff, but we don't show any content, mate. We can't do it, we'd be kicked off. There's actually a beer called White Rabbit, that'll get you down the hole, said Rod. David Dallow said, the only sign that I can think of the Klopp has made which hasn't worked out so far is Grujic and Karius, to be fair, David. But again, very small money. Both of them have really small money. When is Ox coming back? Imran asks. Originally we had thought this side of Christmas, but I don't think anybody really knows, mate, because his injury was a bit worse than we were led to believe as fans originally. Ox will be likely out for most of the season, said David. Jack Daniels, said Megan Onke. Crosby Red said, Craig, you always say everyone is welcome as long as they're respectful, but maybe you should add, and make fucking sense. Maybe I should, you're right. I should just put up a disclaimer, shouldn't I, when people come on. Welcome to the channel, hang on a minute here, and just go up and just pull up my disclaimer and hold it up. Didn't know half the players for Ireland the other night, looking bleak for the future, in my opinion, says Wrigley Mick. I'm not one for international football, Mick, but reading to the comments of the people that travelled over and stuff, they weren't fucking happy. There wasn't one comment I read in the thread that didn't say O'Neill, Keano, and who's the guy that runs the FAI? John. God, how could I forget his name? Yeah, the guy who runs the FAI anyway. They wanted the three of them out. What is his name? God, that's going to do my head in. I'm going to have to think of that one. Do you think Lallana is finished after this season? Said yes, sir. No, mate, I don't. I think he maybe at Liverpool perhaps, but his career certainly won't be. He'll definitely have another few years left in him. A small bit of Southern comfort with lime for El Chapo. What is the guy's name from the FAI? John, the chief executive of the FAI. Any Irish people in there? Delaney, John Delaney, that's him. Then Joseph puts it in just as I say it, John Delaney. Yeah, they wanted him out as well. And David said, still both fairly young, mate. I see both potentially coming good. A lot of his mistakes were due to a lack of experience. He did well in the league for a while, and Karius just didn't get to Liverpool quality yet. I think Caoimhín Kelleher trained with the Irish team. He's starting to gain recognition, said Damo, which is great. That is really good to see. You've seen him sign a new deal with Liverpool lately as well. So it's brilliant. I hope Caoimhín Kelleher does get some game time with Ireland, because fucking Randolph, fuck off. Seriously, like fuck off. Rod said, Craig, please sir, Mr. Master Supreme Leader, can we talk game predicting animals tomorrow all night in the last 15 minutes? Game predicting animals, why not, Rod? Seems as good a chance as any, but only if I can include sexual harassment panda in that conversation, Rod. So we can definitely talk game predicting animals, but we have to include sexual harassment panda in that conversation. Do you think players are scared of that lunatic Roy Keane? No, not really, because he has to be professional in his job. Nervous perhaps, yes, but scared I wouldn't say so. Jesus, Joseph, mate, I hope you're alright. So, what's up, Reds? I was in hospital yesterday, got a lump taken out of me fucking arm. Nightmare. Jesus Christ, mate. Seriously. Hope you're alright. Well, you must be semi-okay if you're on here chatting, but sorry to hear about your arm, buddy. Jesus Christ. Oh, was it a work accident, mate? Or... That's a fucking lump out of your arm. That's serious stuff. David, mate, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for joining the stream, buddy, and if I don't speak to you tomorrow, have a great weekend. Paul Turner said, hope it went well and everything is okay now, Joseph. What have we got? I can't believe I've actually managed to do 2 hours. I didn't think I was going to last 2 hours tonight. Too much wanking, Joseph, says El Chapo. Straight to the point. I mean, not fucking about in here. Can there be too much though, El Chapo? Is that possible? Damo said, I'd go for the massive rodent in Groundhog Day, said Rod. Oh, it was a groundhog. The clue was in the film title. Right, guys, I can't believe I've made the 2 hours tonight. I'm proud of myself on that one because my throat's absolutely fucked. Guys, I'm going to call it a night and I will chat to you all tomorrow. It is, what, 20 to 12 now, so we've just passed the 2 hour mark on the stream, but I want to read Joseph's out because, oh shit, they reckon it's a mild form of skin cancer. I'll find out in 4 to 6. No, El Chapo, it's my left arm. Fucking hell. I'm glad you included the word mild, mate, but still, it's no fucking joking matter. I'll be thinking of you, Joseph, I sincerely will, mate. And do let me know, or all of us know, I'm sure everybody would like to know the results, mate. And we'll be thinking of you. We'll be right behind you. Fucking hell, man, that's serious stuff. I'm so sorry to hear that, but I hope you get the good news. I hope you get, like, I hope it isn't cancerous, obviously. And again, lots of people just wishing Joseph well, which is lovely to see. And keep everything crossed for you, said Damo as well. And that's serious stuff, mate. We will all be thinking of you. And as I said, guys, look, that seems a good spot to leave it for tonight. We all obviously are right behind Joseph and wish him well. It's tough, mate, but we're behind you. We're here for you if you want to chat as well. Right, guys, I'm going to say goodnight anyway. Thank you so much everyone for joining in on the stream tonight. And to those of you who commented, to those of you who maybe just watched and didn't feel up to commenting or was listening in the background, thank you. Don't forget, guys, before you head off, if you have a second, do hit the thumbs up button. And those of you who are perhaps watching back later on the stream, do hit the like button. And of course, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. To all you absolute superstars, I'll talk to you tomorrow. And until then, up the motherfucking Reds.